You're watching Steve's Outdoor Adventures, Fishing with Wesley. Sponsored by Adventure Distributors, your one-stop shop for everything hunting, fishing, and outdoors. Fishing has been a part of our way of life for generations. What started as a way to feed your family or generate income or revenue has transitioned also into a recreational activity, a sport that fishermen travel the world to pursue some of the most exotic species of fish. And this week, Wesley White is headed down to Brazil to fish for peacock bass in the Amazon jungle on the Rio Negro River. Before he jumps in the airplane and flies out to the boat, he makes a quick pit stop to fish for arapaima.
We are here at Boise International Airport in Boise, Idaho, getting ready to catch our flight to Brazil. We're headed for the Rio Negro. We're gonna go do some peacock bass fishing, spend a few days on the river, and I can't wait to get back to the jungle.
Wesley flew from Boise, Idaho to Miami, and then took the direct flight into Manaus, a city of over 2 million people that sits on the banks of the Rio Negro River, and it is considered the gateway to the Amazon and the jump-off spot for this week's adventure. Once on the ground, Wesley grabs his checked bags and then takes a cab through town to the hotel, which is supplied by the outfitter and included in his fishing package.
All right, welcome to Manaus. We're in Brazil. It's about 3 a.m. We're gonna check into the hotel here, get a few hours of sleep. Then we're gonna head out in the morning. We're gonna check out some local markets and see a little bit of the local culture. We got a taxi for the day. We're gonna go check out the local fruit and fish market, being that Manaus is the capital of the Amazon state. They have this huge fruit market, fish market, and we've been told it's a great place to go check out for kind of the cultural experience. So we're gonna go check that out and see if this rain shut it down. It's raining a little bit, but we're hopeful, everybody will still be out there. We're gonna check it out. Let's roll. We're standing here in an open air fish market in Manaus. The river is just right behind us, 100 yards. And you can see every type of tropical fish in here that you would expect to catch out on the river, feeding these families, feeding the people that live here. It's full of fresh fish. The other side is your red meat, your pork, chicken, and beef. But you can see behind me, we got arapaima and pacu and Oscars and all your aquarium fish, all your big jungle fish. It's absolutely amazing to be in here, see everybody hard at work, all the families shopping for dinner, and just to come down here and check it out. It's an absolutely amazing experience. Hola, amigo.
After spending the day touring the market and taking in the cultural aspects of the city, Wesley calls it a day and prepares for his trip to fish for arapaima the next day. This segment of Steve's Outdoor Adventures Fishing with Wesley is sponsored by Grundens. We are fishing.
We got a beautiful morning here in Manaus. We're gonna go do a day of arapaima fishing. This is an add-on adventure that the outfitter offers for people who want to show up a day early and try to catch a different game species here in the jungle. So we're gonna meet up with the Pastor O'Delly, who owns the property and runs it. We're gonna head on over there. It's like an hour drive. Let's go catch some arapaima. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right, let's go do some fishing. Let's do it. Okay, thank you. As we travel across the river and into the jungle, I learned that Pastor O'Delly is a man truly dedicated to the service of others, having adopted or sheltered over 100 children from the streets of Manaus and Sao Paulo. One of those young men, Junior, would be joining us that day while we were fishing. All right, let's go catch some arapaima. The arapaima is one of the largest freshwater fish species in the world. They can grow over 6-7 feet, reaching pounds of 2, 3, maybe even 400 pounds. They're an incredibly huge fish. We've arrived here at the pastor's home, where he's built a series of lakes that will fish for arapaima. Let's jump in the truck and head down to the water. All right, we've arrived at the first pond here on the property. We've got arapaima that are gulping air out here on the pond. I'm gonna throw the fly rod starting today. We'll fish lure and bait and fly as well. So yeah, you can see some fish out here. I'm gonna put the kit together and we'll get catch some fish. All right, we chose this white fly here. Pastor said that, they prefer a more natural color than, going something kind of wild. So we'll start off with these white ones, white and copper here. We're gonna fish this pond over to our left and see what we can find. Wasn't even a beautiful cast, and here's a beautiful arapaima, maybe 30 pounds or so. What a beautiful fish here. Just a beautiful animal, maybe 40 pounds or so. The colors on them, a lot of colors that you just don't expect to see. You can see them in videos, see them in photos all you want, but really, you got to hold a fish to really experience the colors, all the little iridescence. Absolutely beautiful animal. We're gonna get this guy unhooked and we're gonna let him go. They're a pretty sensitive animal, so we don't want to spend too much time with them. We got a couple more to catch here, but otherwise, we're gonna get this guy back out in the pond so that he grows nice and big and stays stays healthy. All right, we just got this guy unhooked. We're gonna let him go. He burped. He's ready to swim back to his depths. And goodbye. Awesome, awesome. Thank you.
This segment of Steve's Outdoor Adventures, Fishing with Wesley, is sponsored by the Yakima Bait Company. Back on the arapaima water, Wesley is fishing a different pond, and his guide suggested a slightly different fly, and it isn't long before Wesley is hooked up yet again on another solid fish. This arapaima might only weigh 35 or 40 pounds, but it's bending Wesley's 9-weight rod and putting up a hell of a fight.
All right, got our second arapaima of the day. Again, maybe 35 to 40 pound fish on the fly. We walked up on this pond and you could actually see, the big shadow bodies. You could see them laid up. And the pastor told me, you're gonna get one cast at these fish and, that's gonna be it. Then they're gonna spook. And, sure enough, I put the fly right in the group and it was a visual eat. You saw them all turn and they were eager to eat it. Fought him for a little bit. The young man jumped in and landed him for me. It was a beautiful fish. Again, awesome fish on the fly. I try to get a couple more on the fly just for fun. And then we're gonna try and get a really big one, 150 pounds or more. They've got them over 200 here. He says nobody's landed them before, but we'll go see how big we can get. All right. We had a great morning. We're gonna head in for lunch. We're gonna come back out and try and get into some big fish. The pastor's wife is gonna make some fried chicken for us, which I'm sure is gonna be awesome. And we had a great morning. Caught some small arapaima on the fly, which was really enjoyable. Hooked into a couple big ones, but unfortunately broke one off and just lost two because I was probably setting the hook a little too quick. We got a few more hours here. We're gonna try and get a real big one. That's kind of the goal for coming here, is to get something over 100 pounds. So let's go see if we can make it happen after lunch. At lunch, I had the opportunity to learn even more about the pastor and his wife's history of helping others, as well as a bit of their life stories. They both grew up in Brazil. They both went to college in the United States, where they found each other and returned back to Brazil to live a life of charity and service to others. They have an amazing life, and I'm more than thankful that there are people in this world making such a significant difference for those in need.
My name is Odali Barros, and my profession is pastor. I've been a pastor for 49 years. Yeah, I think 49 years now. And I took care of orphanage street kids in São Paulo for 28 years. Sometime I had 120, 130 kids in my house. And so then we moved here, and there's a guy there to take care of there in São Paulo. And now we have a bunch of kids that we take help here. They eat in our house, they sleep. And then in the missions, we go there every week and we take food. And that's our life. I mean, I don't know how to do it, nothing else than help people.
It is important to note that the proceeds from the arapaima fishing fund Pastor O'Dali's mission and make it possible for him to positively impact and change the lives for so many of Brazil's forgotten children. So while Wesley's enjoying the fishing, his true contribution to the day cannot be measured like a fish or weighed on a scale, but rather seen in the eyes of the young guides in the field with him that day. This segment of Steve's Outdoor Adventures Fishing with Wesley is sponsored by Cast King and their full line of fishing and outdoor equipment. If you would like to book this fishing package or hunting adventures, please contact Steve's Outdoor Adventures at the toll-free number and website address on your screen. We are always available to take your calls and answer your questions.
We're back out here, it's after lunch. We're gonna throw some bait out again and see if we can get one of these big ones. There we go. There we go. It's a good one. It's not huge, but it's a good one. Okay, never mind. It might be a big one. I'm trying my hardest to keep it from breaking me off or me breaking it off. Hoping it doesn't find a log and I don't do the wrong thing. Oh, bro, those are huge head wags. Still not a 200-pounder, but that's a nice fish. Wow. Wow, look at that fish. How big, like 100 pounds?
I don't know, I haven't seen him out of the water yet. He's not bigger than the other one. The other was much bigger.
Oh yeah, I could tell by fighting. Yeah. The other two that I broke off were much bigger. But that's cool, he's a huge fish.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a monster of a fish.
It's a little bit over 100 pounds.
Fish of the day, 60 kilos or so.
Both on underneath, both on underneath, both stay like that. There you go, like that.
60 kilos, oh, it's a huge fish. Oh, look at the details, a monster. We worked our butts off today for this fish. I'm not much of a bait fisherman, they kicked my ass. But This is a monster of a fish. Look at this thing. Look at these scales.
It's what, 5 foot long?
We're gonna let this big guy go. We got some photos. It's a beautiful fish. This is my last fish of today. We're gonna let this big one go. Is it ready? Oh, come on. Oh yes, goodbye. Awesome. What an amazing day here on our single day trip for arapaima. We're gonna head into the jungle tomorrow and catch peacock bass, but this has been an amazing warm up, catching fish way bigger than any peacock bass you could catch. This has been an amazing trip, and I'm really looking forward to getting in the jungle tomorrow. What I've got here is a scale from the big arapaima I caught, and you know, they'll regenerate these, so taking one is no problem, but what's really unique is like how tough these are built. Arapaima have evolved to live in small lakes and ponds that contain the piranha, and everybody knows the piranha in the Amazon just eats everything, right? So they've evolved to have these scales that are piranha proof. The piranha can bite them but cannot penetrate them. They'll break their teeth off before they make it to the meat. You know, the evolution of these animals to survive side by side with some of the top predators in the Amazon is pretty amazing. And they actually study these for developing armor, bulletproof armor, Kevlar, stuff like that. So it's you know, kind of a unique thing.
With the arapaima fishing portion of his trip completed, Wesley White is now going to jump on a plane and fly deep into the Amazon jungle and land on the Rio Negro River and jump on the boat where he is going to spend the next week experiencing some of the most incredible peacock bass fishing of his life. In fact, if this is a trip that you'd like to book for yourself, give our office a call and speak with Wesley. He's always available to take your calls, answer your questions, and help you book that incredible fishing trip of a lifetime. Unfortunately, that's all the time we've got for this week's show, but please remember to join us again next week as Wesley continues this incredible adventure here on Steve's Outdoor Adventures, Fishing with Wesley.